Hi crafty friends, welcome to my channel. I am making it's a requested tutorial. I made a St. Patrick's Day little folio using the Junk Journal Studios papers, and so I am going to now make one using the Junk Journal Studios vintage Easter card kit, and there are tons of fabulous vintage images in this kit, and I will link it in the description box. You can make cards with these, you can put them in a junk journal, or you can make a little folio. Now I separated mine out already, like all the bunny ones are together and all the chick ones are together, so that's why mine are in stacks. So I am going to, what I did last time is I used some papers for the folio, some Tim Holtz papers. So I'm going to do that again, and I'm just going to show you how. I didn't have like anything really precise as far as measurements and things, so we're just going to kind of wing it, but you can see how I made it. It's very, very easy. So any kind of scrapbook paper or digital. I do have some papers that I brought in from the Spring Bounty kit. There's some, let's see, Spring Bounty kit 4 of the Junk Journal Studios. There's these beautiful doilies in there, so I thought that would be really pretty to add. And then I brought in her vintage flowers, all these beautiful flowers. Not those, those don't go with it. So that bunny doesn't go with it too. I don't know how I got that mixed in, but anyways. So just a few other pieces, and then there's some butterflies from a spring kit too. So what I'm gonna do, so these larger papers are double-sided. The smaller ones, these, I think it's a Tim Holtz wallpaper. They are not double-sided, so I'm gonna fold these in half. So, and the St. Patrick's Day folio that I made is with my mother. She kept it. I made it when I was at her house, and so but there is a flip through of it, reel on my Instagram and Facebook page, Daily Dose of Happiness, that you can see it, and I believe I also posted it in the fans of the Junk Journal Studios Facebook page, but it might be a little bit harder to find it there, but so you can kind of see that I kind of staggered different sizes. So I'm going to just cut this down a little bit, I think maybe to 3 inches. So it's basically 3 by 5. And I'm going to end up gluing this closed because I don't want to see the white paper. So I'm just going to pretend like this is a double-sided paper. And then I'm going to bring in another one that I'm going to fold in half. And I'll make this a little bit bigger, maybe 3.5 inches wide. Save those scraps by, I guess I can leave it by 5 inches. So it'll end up being like layered like this. I think I'll cut this one down a little bit further. Let's see, maybe to 4 3/4. I didn't really like have specific measurements. I just kind of like, I just eyeballed like what looked good. So I want the next one to be out a little bit further. So I guess kind of like a waterfall. So those are the two. I'm gonna round the corners on this, on all of these. So I hope everybody's doing well. and we're into the full swing of springtime crafting. I just finished a spring journal that, gosh, I think it ended up being 5 parts. It only ended up being 5 parts because I actually filmed it in 4 parts, but it was so long I had to break it up. So yeah, it was the longest video I did. So okay, so there's those 2. So now I want to bring in this next one. And I'm going to fold this. Let's see, this one is like 5, no, 3.5 inches wide. 3.5 inches. So maybe 4 inches wide, maybe. Yeah, so when you make like one of these little folios, it's just, you know, it's just kind of, it's just, you know, you just eyeball whatever looks good to you. Oops, that's probably not going to be straight. And that's what I did when I made this. So, yeah, so this is a little bit long. So let's cut this down some. It's probably a little bit too wide. Yeah, I was just messing around, and this is how I came up with what I did. So this one ends up being 4 inches by 5 3/8. Around the corners. I love this paper. It's so pretty. Yeah, how it started out was, I think I took a piece of paper and let's see, I was trying to find like kind of springy looking ones, which like that's kind of springy. Maybe that. The St. Patrick's Day one, there were like kind of like some green hues in the kit. So I also had this little, let me see, what did I do? Let's do it with this one. I think what I did, I'll show you, this is how it started. Did I score it at, this is like scored at 2 inches. This is 6 inches wide. Yeah, and I didn't even, I just folded it up. I didn't, and then I just did this kind of fold here and here. This is kind of how the whole project started, the St. Patrick's Day one. And then it just went from there. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and sometimes that's just what you have to do. Just play around with the paper until you figure out what you wanted to do. Yeah, and I somehow glued this one in, something like that. Although it's a little long for a pocket, so I might trim this down a little bit. Yeah, so let's just cut, I don't know if you can see this, cut this line here just to like, so that our pockets fold up easier and they're not so bulky. And I might have to trim out just a little piece, like a little triangle. Like just very like a sliver. Yeah, like that. And let's round the corners. There and here. I don't know if I did. I think I did these corners too. I probably should have watched the video, my reel, before I did this, but I thought, no, I'll remember. So then this is going to be kind of weird because it's. You could put it. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, it's like shorter than the others, so I'm not sure if I'll bring this one in or not. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's do another one. That one. Maybe this one. Okay, so the last one I did was it's like 5 3/8. So I think the last 2 or 3 I had basically the same size. Let me just fold this in half. Let's see, how wide was this one? 4 inches. So maybe we'll go, let's try 4.5 first and see. And it's 5 3/8 this way, right? 5 3/8. So if we went, let's see, 5 3/4. Oops. Well, that's not going to work. Okay, let's start from this side. Let's see. I think it needs to be a little bit shorter. Maybe 4 4. I think that'll work. See if I can do both sides at the same time. Yes. So then I've got this. This is, we could make this a top-loading pocket. I'm going to glue it down that way. Just to see if we can do it that way. Well, the other kit I brought in to use with this is the Pastel, Turquoise, and Pink labels from the Junk Journal Studio. I'll show you. I thought it's Easter colors. Isn't that pretty? So I thought those would work too. Okay, so we got that, we got that, we got that. And then maybe one more, maybe. Which ones do we have? No, maybe this one. I like the pink, of course, but I'm not thrilled about the maps. But by the time we cover it, I mean, I might be able to cover it with some of the other paper. Let's see. Wait, the pink sticking out or the flowers? I think maybe the pink because there's more, it's more colorful. more variation, and the other one just is too, matches too much. And we might still bring this in and maybe make pockets or something, I don't know. I think the other folio I made was a little bit smaller, so. Okay, so we cut it like right there, and maybe that'll work. And I think I'm gonna leave the length alone. So it's 6 inches, I believe, the length. Okay, I think I'm done with this for now. Okay, rounded the corners. Those, that one, that one, that one. I'm not sure if we'll need another one. So, okay, so then the next thing you need is you need, we're just gonna use hinges to connect it. So I just measured out like 1.5 inches, and just, you know, burnished it down to get a nice crease. And I left them long because I have different lengths here, right? Let me put this away before I lose it. Okay. So, let's bring in our first 2 papers and spine to spine. So it's gonna be, we want it the length of the shorter one, right? Because we don't want it to stick out past the short one. So I'm just gonna trim it. That's why I left them long, so that, you know, I can just trim them. And you can just use any scrap paper for this. And so I have the crease where it's folded on the inside here. And then here's my little tab that I'm going to connect it. And, you know, this is double-sided. This is that Tim Holtz paper too. And so let me ink it. You know, whatever side you want to show when you open it, that's the side you're, so if you fold it inside like this, then this side's going to show. If you fold it the other way, then that side would show. But I want this side to show because I think it looks cool. Yeah, so it's going to be glued to the inside. So just put some glue along one side. These first 2 are going to be a little bit different because they're not double-sided. And just try not to go over the crease line. This, you know, where it's scored in the center. I'll get a little closer. And this one's going to be right there. This one's just, you know, it's slightly bigger, so just kind of center it. And that connects that, right? So that's our first one. And then bring in your next page. And I gotta think about this for a minute because I'm doing this a little bit different. So if this were double-sided, we were putting this here, we would attach it here and here. So the first one is just hinged a little bit different, sort of different, because this one opens up. I mean, I'm sorry, I hope that's not confusing. But, okay, so let's trim this, get this very straight on here. I think it'll be okay. Let's see. Trim this to this length. this side down. Just kind of get it right along the edge there. I have to ink this. And it's going to show on your paper, but but I don't care because it's like that collage-y look I like. And we're going to be putting our little vintage Easter cards on it. Okay, so just kind of center that in there. You're going to have a little spine here like this, but we can cover it. I think I covered the other one I made with some, I think I used some lace. Wet wipe to wipe the glue off my fingers. Okay, so we've got this, 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 this. Okay, let's bring in the next one. Going to be long enough. So I cut it to the length of the shorter side so it doesn't stick out and look weird. Okay. Yeah, so this ends up being like a collage-y like project, which I personally love, but very easy to do. And just kind of, it's kind of nice, it's just like a stress-free project that you don't have to be really precise with your measurements. Burnish it down so the glue kind of spreads around there. And then we're going to glue the other side. Put it this way so I can see better. This one's a little bit bigger. And I just want to center it. I mean, you can line them all up, along towards the bottom, but I kind of like them centered like that. I honestly don't remember how I did the other one. And let's see. For some reason, I think this hinge isn't. I don't know why it doesn't seem like it's. I think this is just an inch. Yeah, that's just an inch. But it might still work. Let's see. All these other ones I have are too small. Maybe I better do it the same. Just to make sure. So, yeah, I think I started with an inch, which you can just do an inch, but I don't know, an inch and a half just gives me a little bit more room. Okay, there's that. And then you can score it at like 3/4 of an inch is like that's the center. Okay. Now I'm going to fold it this way because I want the flowers showing. Paper. And let's measure it for this to this one. Okay. Let's ink it. Keep forgetting that part. So I hope wherever you are in the world that the weather's getting nice and you're enjoying some nice spring weather. It's nice where I am. It got a little bit warm. But I think it's cooling off a little bit. I think I'm ready for the heat. That one's a little bit longer. I think I need to trim it. See, you don't want it sticking out like that. That's why you want it trimmed to the size of your paper. Trim that off. Get that centered right. Okay. Glue this other side. Oops. Line that up. See, and I had something like this in there in the center where it was like you opened it like this and then this opened out, which we might still be able to put this in somewhere. I'm just not sure. I mean, maybe it could be on the inside of one of these. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so that's your base. Simple, right? Yeah, and then, oh, I know what I did is I put one of these, I put like a side little tuck. I mean, you can add pockets wherever you want. Maybe here. I don't know, can we put this in here? Let's see. We did it like this. I glued it there. I could flip open like that. Guess we can do that. Let me trim this side a little bit more. I like this paper, it's pretty. Okay, let's ink this and then I'm gonna glue it. Actually, not gonna see the back side of this. Let me see the inside. So I could do it the other way. Let's see. No, because I think I want this on the outside. Okay. Need to be trimmed a little bit more. A sliver. And you can cut little notches for your pockets if you want. Let's see. Do you want notches? Maybe. Little ones. Okay, so let's glue our pockets down. Probably should have got a little more closer to the edge there. the sides. I think I tied the other one down. Guess I should go back and watch the reel. But you know, this is the fun part about creating. You just, you know, wing it, do it, make it different. Okay, so what we can do is we can glue this in as like a top loading pocket. I don't know if I want it centered, maybe more towards the bottom. Probably should have rounded these corners. I wonder if it's too thick. Let's see if it'll work. Oh, yep. Oops. Just so it kind of matches that corner, right? Or we can do it in the center of the page, but still. Okay, so let's make this a top loading pocket. So we're just going to glue along the sides and the bottom. And we'll leave the top open. We can put something in there. And I'll just kind of center it on this page a little bit. So we have this one, this flips out like this, and then there's a top loading pocket, that opens, and then this opens. We're definitely going to need to cover some of that because that is, no, I am not into the maps. Let's see. No. There's some of these papers we could put on here. Oh, that looks pretty. Maybe we can make a little side pocket right here. Let's see. Let's cut it to there. How long is this? I think it's like 6 inches, almost 6 inches. Is that too long? Let's trim just a little bit. Okay, and then we want to round the outside corners. So put that like that. And maybe a little notch so you know it's a pocket. Let's ink that. Okay, and then what do we want over here? Hide this map. Instead of a pocket, okay, let's glue this down first. So along the sides, the back, kind of centered. I made a little tiny bit shorter, which is okay. And then maybe I need to tear this. We'll just kind of collage it up a little bit over the map. I don't mind a little bit of map, but I don't want a lot. Okay, so we've got this one, not too long, a little bit more. And let's do some of this. Like that date in there. Kind of hard to get when it's just like a little bit. I don't want to tear off the date. Probably easier just to tear it without a roller. Right? So let's ink these up. Yeah, by the time we get the vintage Easter cards on here, you're not even going to notice the map that I now realize is upside down, I think. Maybe not, I don't know. Sort of looks like it. So we could go like this. And then maybe one more piece right here, a little piece. Maybe this one. Let's do this one. We just need a little piece. Right. Yeah, I think I layered up the other one too. I layered different pieces behind the St. Patrick's Day one. Let's just lay this down. Let's glue this down. Now, probably the most difficult part of this whole project is picking out the vintage Easter cards because there's so many, and there's so many cute ones. On the date, it's going to end up getting covered up, but okay, it's a little bit better, not so mappy. Not so mappy. Okay. Let's bring in, I've got these pretty doilies. That's from a Tim Holtz pack. Those, but these are from that spring. This is from the spring Folio kit, the small one, and then these bigger ones are from the spring Bounty kit 4. And then, so I think I'll make sure I'm not missing any of my. Let's just bring this whole thing in. I've got some flower ephemera from the Tim Holtz things, but that was before we had all of these flowers from the Junk Journal Studio. And this, I cut these little bunnies out from one of the spring, Might be Spring Bounty Kit 4. These bunnies might be from that too. And then I also have these collage strips that we can bring in if we need to. And that's one of the labels. Here's the other. There's the little kitties there. These pockets are from the Spring Folio kit. I thought, well, maybe we'll add those. Oh, here's some more of the flowers. Yeah, the vintage flowers I thought would look good with all of these. So, our flowers, we've got our butterflies, we've got our labels, and we've got our vintage Easter cards. So what I did is I divided them, I separated them out by landscape and portrait, and then separate, like there's a bunch of roosters, and these are all chicks. The reason for the season, Jesus, which I would love to put on the front, but that's the wrong direction. So I have to put that someplace else. And then there's just like general Easter, vintage Easter. So what are we gonna put on the front? Roosters, these are the chicks, of course. These are the bunnies that I love. Love, love, love the bunnies. That is so cute. Gosh, it's so hard for me to do the cover. I mean, look at these vintage, I just love them. Okay, these are all in a landscape. Do I have any bunnies in the portrait? Let's see. Yeah, I tried to, these are all these cute. Just, gosh. You could make a separate folio for each of these, each of these different Easter themes, you know. And I love this one too, little girl with the bunny. These are chicks, so we're gonna do this one, or I'm gonna do the cover last because that's what I always do, right? I always do the cover last. I'm gonna set these to a side because I think those sizes fit. Of course, there's this one, the cross. It's pretty, and this one. Yeah, we'll come back. Okay, so let's flip this open. Because these pages are shorter, I want something that's more landscaped. This, Faith. Let's look through these. You can kind of see them as I'm flipping through, trying to decide, because this is the hardest part for me. I really like that cross. These crosses, look at how beautiful that one is. It's beautiful. And we're getting bigger and bigger. That's pretty too. Easter prayer. It's really, oh, that one's pretty too. See, I'm telling you, this is the hardest part, right here. So you just have to make several folios or Easter cards. That's pretty too, but it's too big. Okay. So narrowing it down. Oh, that one, oh, bunny, how'd you get in there? Oh, bunnies. Bunnies. You guys don't belong in this stack. Yeah, I was just trying to be semi-organized. Okay, so I think it's down to this one, this one, this one. Those are bunnies. This one, I really like this one. So I think I'm going to round the corners on this. Not sure what I cut out that I got this side of this thing stuck, but I'm trying to remember something. Do the one that's a little bit bigger. Ink off my hand. Just ink that up. And maybe we can bring in some flowers. Maybe. I don't want to cover up this image at all, but there's lilies on here, so, and there's lilies in this kit that might, it's too big. Maybe this little one. But before I do that, the other thing I did was I attached labels along the edge here. I mean, along the spine. I like how it looks for one, it's decorative, but it also like helps to reinforce the spine a little bit. I'll put two of them on here. Let's do this one. Maybe one of the pink ones. Make that straighter. Come on, glue. Don't get stuck. Don't fail me now. So I'm going to fold this because it's going to end up being folded. That one came off. Guess I should let it dry first, right? Just crunch it up a little bit. I think one of the keys to doing a project like this is don't overthink it. Because it'll take you all day. Don't overthink it. I know it's easy to do, but I kind of wanted some of these lilies. I wonder if I can cut these down a little bit. Little one. Some roses. big lilies. You could put the big, oh no, then we're covering the Easter prayer. Let's put this one down and then cut off the edges. Where my little scissors went. The end here somewhere. They're there somewhere. Maybe just a little piece of them. Like that. Let's get the scissors. That looks. It's a little dimension there without putting foam tape on it, right? Okay. Now on this page, what are we going to put? What are we going to put? I thought all of them had, I thought I had them all together where I had, here we go. These are portrait, more portrait. The bunnies, ugh, so many cute bunnies. Oops, look at that one, isn't that cute? I love that one. That might be a good one for the cover too. I'm gonna set that one aside. It's cute. So is that. That one too. I love that bunny. Maybe he's playing in church. So cute. This one too. A little bit too long for that page. Okay, so let's do, I'm trying to keep them in the right direction so I don't get lost here. Either this one, this one, this one. That one looks good, but I like the idea of the bunny playing in the choir. He's playing in the choir. Okay, maybe this one looks the best. Come on, don't fail me now, little thing. It's weird that it's just, I think you're supposed to take like oil or something to sharpen it, but it's like it's getting stuck or something. I know it was something I was punching out and I don't don't remember what it was, but it must have been really thick that it got stuck like that. Let's see, one of these doilies. Like the purple. A bunch of lace in here too. Maybe a piece of lace. Ooh, that might be pretty. Look how pretty that is. Definitely want to put that in. Make sure I put on the right side. Oh. Trim these little threads here. Which side is the thread on? I think it's this side. Okay. It's funny how it's so hard to tell which side is the right side. Cute. Now, should we bring some flowers in to like pop up? I know there's some blue in here. Yeah, there's not like when I did made the St. Patrick's Day one, I didn't have a lot of ephemera in it. That's pretty. Because I felt that the images spoke for themselves. I thought they were pretty on their own, so. And these are gorgeous. So you don't need to like put too much with it, I don't think. It's all what looks good to your eye, right? Because what might look good to your eye, or what looks good to my eye might not look good to your eye, right? Some people like it, you know, more simple and not so busy. And let's put this flower up there. These vintage flowers are so pretty, and I think they look really good with this. These vintage Easter images. Isn't that pretty? I mean, we could put like a little label or something down there. Private collection specimen. It's kind of cute. Something, a label or something with this one. A small label. These are some of those Tim Holtz snippets. When I was at my mom's, we went to Hobby Lobby and they had like all the Tim Holtz stuff clearanced. Of course, we went back again and it was all pretty much gone. So. Maybe not. That's right, we've got these flowers that are. Those up there. I don't know what I was using this on, but I obviously didn't use it, and then but I had added some foam tape to it already, so Okay. Let me add a little extra glue. I don't know how long it's just been sitting with these. Sticking out there. Poke that little foam dot in there a little bit so I don't see it. That's cute. Already getting chunky. But I think I had some sort of closure on the other one. I don't remember. I'll have to watch the reel. So I think that's pretty. I wonder if I have more lace I could put on the cover. Like this piece of lace. I like this like scrolly looking one. This too. This one. Maybe. It's a little bit smaller. The little one. Like that. Let's put that on. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things since I got home from my mom's. Whoever was sitting in the seat behind me on the plane, this gentleman was like hacking up a lung the whole trip home, no mask on. And I don't think the guy was even covering his mouth. It was, yeah. So I always wear a mask, but still, you know, those things are not 100%. And I take them off when I take it off when I drink water or have a snack. And so I'm pretty sure I caught something. And I've just been like, I've had terrible, like almost like, almost like a sinus infection, like just really tired and terrible headaches. Which is frustrating to me because when I get that dizziness from the headaches, it frustrates me because I can't do what I want to do. Which is crafting, of course. So, yeah, so I have a little temper tantrum about it. Yeah, okay, still don't know what I want on the cover, but I did want some lace, so there's that. And let me see how long this video is. I might have to come back and do it in a second part so I don't keep you too long. Let's see, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here for today because I don't wanna keep you too long. I don't wanna make these videos. I can't seem to make them short. But anyways, you know how to build this base now. So very simple, you're just connecting it with these 1.5 inch little strips of paper, and that's how you can just make your little folio, and just add your little flips and fold your paper how you like. Like I said, you can line all the pages up at the bottom if you want, or like I just kind of centered mine because visually I like how that looks. And then I will end up, like, when I'm all done, I'll glue like a piece of lace or something, you know, around the side. You don't have to, it doesn't look horrible, but you can put paper or you can put some lace along the spine. It just adds something to it. But that's the start of our little Easter folio with using the Junk Journal Studios vintage Easter cards. And I will link all of this in the description box. And leave me a comment. Let me know if you're going to make something like this, or maybe you're going to make cards. And I hope you have a wonderful crafty day. Thanks, friends. Bye.